What's good? It's Extreme Caution here. Time to go over my official AEW All Out predictions. Been going over every match of the card, what I think of the potential match, what I thought of the build of every match, of course, what I could think lead to after every single match. Let me know your overall thoughts and opinions down below. Leave your predictions in the comment section. If you like daily wrestling content, make sure you like, comment, subscribe because I upload daily wrestling content. We're gonna jump straight into the predictions. The first match I'm going to discuss is Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin in a coffin match. This feud, I honestly do not care about, to be honest with you. Ever since Jon Moxley has lost the AEW World Championship, I have not cared about him at all. This feud, I understand why it's happening because they took him out when Jon Moxley was world champion. Then Darby Allin wanted to climb Mount Everest for whatever reason. Then he comes back and now he wants his revenge, of course. I'm assuming Darby is going to win this match. We're going to get a bunch of shenanigans, of course. You know, the Death Riders, of course, is going to come out. Then you're going to have Darby getting help. I'm assuming the Ops are probably going to interfere in this match, help Darby. Maybe Hook comes out and help Darby. You know, we're going to get a bunch of shenanigans. The match should be good. I just don't care for it because without the world title, Jon Moxley has no one. I just don't care for him because I already didn't care for him with the world title, but at least he had the world championship, so I had to at least pay attention. Now it's just like I don't really care because I'm kind of off this hype because I was excited for it of Darby potentially, you know, winning, you know, his first becoming a world champion, but it's like without that being, you know, at stake, it's kind of like I just don't care for this feud. Like the feud makes sense. It's just I just don't care for it. And then what they have done with the feud to really build hype for it hasn't really been interesting. So it is what it is, but I'm assuming Darby Allin will pick up the victory. What's next for these people? I don't know because I don't see Darby winning a world title anytime soon. I don't know where he really fits unless you may want to go after the TNT title with Kyle Fletcher maybe. And I don't know where Jon Moxley fits unless he's going after the world title again, which he shouldn't. Let's just end that right there. So we'll see how this plays up. I have Darby Allin picking up the victory. Now we get Mercedes Moné versus Riho versus the for the TBS Championship. I'm not gonna really go that in depth on this match. There's really no feud here. There's really no story. This really just happened because Mercedes attacked Alex Windsor. Riho came for the save, and that's it. And she gets a title shot for whatever reason, even though she hasn't been on TV for a year, but she gets a title shot for whatever reason. Mercedes is winning. I'm not going to go that in depth on. We know Mercedes is not losing until she breaks Jade Cargill record, and even after she breaks it, she's probably not going to lose that TBS title anyway, because she's just going to keep getting title after title and eventually have 20 belts at one point. So Mercedes is going to pick up the victory. I'm not going to really go that in depth on this. I don't really need to. Like, we all know Mercedes is not losing. Now we got a fatal four-way match for the AEW World Championship between Toni Storm, Tekla, Jamie Hayter, and Chris Statlander. This match, I'm going to be honest, was randomly thrown. Well, it wasn't randomly thrown together. Really, with Chris Statlander and Jamie Hayter. I understand why Tekla is in the mix, but Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander just kind of felt forced in this, to be honest. Toni Storm, it's the same thing with Mercedes. I hate that I have to feel like I'm just overly criticizing, but we all know Toni Storm is winning here. Like, she's not losing to Chris. She's not losing to Tekla. She's not losing to Jamie Hayter. Like, this was just a thing just to have Toni Storm on the card. Same thing with Mercedes. We all know where the end goal is with those two women. It's going to end up with Toni Storm and Mercedes having an eventual rematch where Mercedes is probably going to win this time. Like, there's nothing else for these women to do. They had literally I'm not going to say buried, but at this point, it's damn near buried the entire women's division. And it's not their fault. Well, Mercedes may be different because depending on if she has creative control, then maybe. But it's really Tony Khan's fault for booking them this way and having terrible booking. But they're only two women that matter in the division. So we all know where this end goal is. It's just going to go back to them because no one is defeating Toni Storm. And to be honest, based off the booking, no one deserves to beat Toni Storm. So Toni Storm is going to retain here. Now we get the Hurt Syndicate versus Ricochet and his Age of Agony. This match, Gates of Agony, if I'm not mistaken. Look, this match here, it's whatever. I don't really care for it because the story is really not that interesting. Now, the story could have been interesting. It just didn't make much sense because we never got an explanation for why Ricochet cost the Hurt Syndicate the AEW Tag Team titles. They never gave an explanation for that at Forbidden Door. They interrupted the match, came out with masks, cost them the AEW Tag titles. Then there was a segment where Ricochet ended up saying that their issues with the Hurt Syndicate go way back, but he never explained those issues. So it's like, why did you cost them the titles? Like, it's like you never explained it. Like, so it's like you never gave us an actual explanation. You just had them cost the titles for whatever reason. The Hurt Syndicate are clearly going to win this match because Rick, like, come on, the Hurt Syndicate are winning. They're not losing to the Gates of Agony. Like, come on, bro. We all know they're not losing this match. So it is what it is. It should be a fun match, but Hurt Syndicate are clearly going to win this match. I'm not really going to waste my time here. I'm not going to act like this is some like deep story. It's not. Hurt Syndicate are winning. Now we get Okada versus Konosuke Takeshita and a third person that's supposed to be in this match. It has to be determined. That's going to be determined on Dynamite, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going to wait until Dynamite because I feel like I know who's winning. It's going to be Okada here. Now, they have been telling the story of Konosuke and Okada having some tension, potentially feuding in the future, which I do like. I do hope that when they do feud, or if they actually pull the trigger on it, because Tony Khan does have has a problem with starting stuff and then stopping it, where if they do end up feuding, Konosuke needs to dethrone Okada. He needs to put an end to this unified championship reign, and he needs to hold that title, even though the title is worthless. But who knows, maybe under Konosuke it will mean something. But the match should be good, but I think Okada will win here. I think he's going to pin whoever the third person is in this match, but this is going to cause issues between Konosuke, because Konosuke could probably feel like he could actually beat Okada if it was a one-on-one, and I think they're going to build on from there. So this is something that, even though I don't care about it that much, there is potential of it being good. Now, I mainly care about this to a degree only because of Konosuke. If Konosuke was in this match, I really wouldn't care, but this actually has potential to be really good. The match is going to be great, but the story here between Konosuke and Okada can actually be really good if built up properly. Now we end up getting a tag team ladder match for the AEW tag team titles. It's not really official who's in this match. I know it's supposed to be a bunch of qualifying matches, but I think the Young Bucks are probably going to be in this tag team match against Bro Dito in this ladder match. So I'm going to go with the Young Bucks because I think the story they've been telling is that the Young Bucks has been going through a struggle of being mistreated. Everyone is mistreating them due to them not being EVPs anymore, so they can't do anything about it. But I think they're going to try to regain their power and regain some respect. And the way to regain some power and regain some respect is becoming a champion. And I think they're going to become the new AEW Tag Team Champions. I think they're going to tell the story of them eventually getting their power, getting some respect back, to a degree, and tell that story of them, of them not wanting to constantly get disrespected by everybody and them wanting to get their power. So I think that's the story they're going to tell here. I don't know if I feel the most confident about that, but I think that's where I'm going to go here because I don't know the other tag teams they're going to put in this match because you don't got the Hurt Syndicate. I don't even know any other tag teams that really exist in AEW because they don't really feature tag teams like that, to be honest with you, for the most part. The only tag team they really feature is Bro Dito and the Young Bucks and FTR, but they all do main event stuff. They don't even be in the tag team division, so it's like you really only have Bro Dito and the Young Bucks to really pick from in this situation, but I have the Young Bucks become your new AEW World Tag Team Champions. Now we get MJF versus Mark Briscoe. Oh my God, I am so tired of this feud. Please let it end. Can we just I don't think it's going to end. I think they're going to have another match because I actually think Mark Briscoe is actually going to win here. I think they're going to give him his win back because I don't see a reason why either guy should win this match, because I was going to say MJF should win because he'd go out the world title, but to be fair, he still has the contract, so him losing doesn't really affect him. But I also don't feel like MJF should be losing to a guy like Mark Briscoe in the first place. So it's like, it's very weird. Then you have Mark Briscoe trying to fight Kyle Fletcher, go after the TNT title, but at the same time still feud with MJF. It's very weird. I don't understand it. It's very confusing to a degree. I get why they're feuding, but it's just kind of like, can we just end it already? Like, why? It's like, come on. This benefits nobody. I think Mark Briscoe is going to pick up the victory here. Then they're probably going to have a third match. Don't know who wins that, but I do think Mark Briscoe will pick up the victory because he is going after Kyle Fletcher at the same time as well. So I think they want to build him up for the TNT title to eventually have that match. So I do think Mark Briscoe will pick up the victory here. What you do afterwards, I don't know. I don't know what you do with MJF afterwards. He still has the contract, so of course he's still going to be in the main event scene, but it's just like, I don't even know if he's going to successfully cash in the contract now due to how they made it to where you got to give a 1 week's notice, which is so stupid. Like, that was so dumb. I don't understand it, but it is what it is. But the match should be fun, but Mark Briscoe is probably going to pick up the victory. The AEW World Championship match between Hangman Adam Page versus Kyle Fletcher. This was another match that, of course, was thrown together last minute due to them just needing their world champion on the pay-per-view. They end up getting Kyle Fletcher. We all know Heyman is winning. I I don't really know how to feel about this. I like Kyle Fletcher. I just don't think he should be getting a world title shot, especially when he's the TNT champion. And we all know that the TNT champion is not going to beat the AEW world champion. Yeah, I don't really have much to say here. There's really no story here. It just came out of nowhere where Don Callis was like, I just want the AEW World Championship in the family, even though he has never wanted that championship in the family for the amount of years I've been watching AEW, but now he wants it all of a sudden. But and then Kyle Fletcher is the only one credible enough to actually face Adam Page. So Adam Page is gonna win here. I'm not gonna go that in depth on it. Like, I know a lot of these matches, I keep saying the same thing, but that's how bad the booking is in AEW. It's like, there's little to no story. I can't go that in depth on it. Like, I can't go that in depth on it because there's no story here. It's like, it's obvious who's winning, but Hangman's going to pick up the victory. Then we get the main event. Adam Copeland, Christian Cage versus FTR. This is one of the few things that actually have a story with it, even though I don't think the booking has been the best of the story. It has been somewhat interesting. You know, of course, FTR turned heel on Copeland. They end up, attacking his neck. That, Adam Copeland had to, go away for a couple months, come back, and he needed some help. Christian ends up becoming the help, of course. I like what they're doing here. I love the story they've been telling. I love how the dynamic between Cope and Christian, Cope being the babyface, Christian still being the arrogant, cocky heel that he is. I love that. Cope and Christian have to win this match. It's in Toronto. It's in their hometown. They're, of course, winning this match. They're going to get the big pop. I think they're going to be the main event as well. What we go from here, I honestly don't know. I think they're probably going to go after the tag team titles, eventually face the Young Bucks. That's the only thing I'm seeing for Cope and Christian. FTR, I really don't know. I think they're just going to continue to fight Ring of Honor people for whatever reason. Those are my overall thoughts and opinions of AEW All Out. I'm going to be honest, I'm not really that excited about this pay-per-view because I just think this pay-per-view isn't all that, especially due to the booking. But the pay-per-view is probably going to be a banger due to the match quality. But you guys let me know your overall thoughts and opinions down below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. But yeah, that's it.